Hey there everyone, and I thank you guys so much for hanging out with me here at my orchid adventures. Unfortunately today folks, I have some very sad news. This Vanda right here, this stunning, blooming, yellow spotted flowering Vanda has contracted something so awful, so hideous. Indeed, she has an infection that I have attempted to save her from, but unfortunately, I have not been successful. So right now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take it up a notch, okay? When we have some extreme infections, you guys already know desperate times call for desperate measures, and I refuse to give up on such a gorgeous gal. She deserves every attempt possible, wouldn't you say? So I'm going to show you today exactly what happened to her, and I'm going to show you exactly what strategies I will take in this rescue operation. Okay folks, so what I did start noticing, there was one particular leaf that had contracted some sort of infection, and what it appeared to be was similar to black rot, because it had an inky black appearance to the leaf, and it really spread really quick. So because I have had experience with black rot and I know how dangerous it is, I jumped on this right away and I went deep into here, and I made sure that I removed that entire leaf. I mean, I just cut away. I did some serious surgery on this, and then I went ahead and disinfected this entire orchid, hoping that that would be the end of that story. Unfortunately, it was not, because if we take a look here, oh my gosh, there's that black inky-like substance beginning to spread even at the very tip of this Vanda right here. And you guys know Vandas are monopodial, so the new growth of the Vanda, the way it's going to continue to grow, is at the very top. So yeah, this is going to cause a major hindrance for this Vanda right here. So we have to find a way to save this Vanda and save it rather quickly, or it's going to be ravished by this disease. And believe it or not folks, I do have some good news. Some good news that's going to provide us some light at the end of the orchid tunnel. Because if we take a close look at the actual stem itself, you're going to notice a lot of little nubbins growing right at the stem area. And the reason why I say it's good news, if you take a close look, you're going to notice that they are actually pointy, and roots aren't as pointy as these new growths are. So let's take a closer look. And just on this side alone, we're noticing 1, 2, 3, and 4 little new growths, or what appear to be plantlets or keikis, that are growing on the base of the stem area. And I've actually counted about 6 or 7 new growths that are similar to this. Okay, well maybe I miscounted, because I'm on the other side and I'm noticing 1, 2, 3, and also 4 on this side as well. So round about 8 if we're lucky. Okay, so you guys may be wondering, why is this Vanda in particular trying to throw off so many babies? Well, as you guys know, when a orchid is threatened or feels as if it's in danger or perhaps possibly about to die, it's going to try to survive by any way possible. And in this case, she's trying to survive through her babies. Okay folks, and with that being said, let's go ahead and start the rescue mission. But I will have to warn you, this is not for the faint-hearted, not at all. And the materials that we're going to be using today for this rescue operation is going to be this gallon container, also the Fizan 20, a spray bottle, 1 teaspoon, a sanitized pair of scissors, and also this cutting board. And folks, just as a side note, when using Fizan 20, please be sure to use some form of glove for protection, because Fizan 20 can be quite powerful, potent, and yes, even toxic. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to take this Fizan 20, which is an algicide, fungicide, bactericide, also a viricide, and we're going to take a teaspoon of that and mixed it with 1 gallon of water, and then we're going to take that water and we're also going to fill up this container to spray down whatever we need to spray. And also we're going to take this sanitized scissor and cut away what we need to. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so here we are, folks, and we're going to get this party started by spraying her down with this Physand 20. Indeed, we're going to saturate every nook and cranny, making sure that we're killing off all the germs and bacteria so as not to spread. We're going to go ahead and take care of that before our surgical procedure begins. And the next step is to go ahead and remove any unneeded leaf off of the stem, because that is where we're going to make that surgical cut. And as we're removing all of the leaves, oh my, now you really get to see the full detail of how bad this infection has really gotten in there. Look at that, folks. Look at that right there. Totally rotted. Totally rotted. And yeah, the infection goes down quite a long way, so now we just really have to find a safe spot to cut her at. Totally removing any browning area because we just don't want that to contaminate and spread throughout. Okay, and here we are. I got the scissor right there, and you know what? I've been attempting to cut this, and you know what? This is too thick and too woody for this pair of scissors. So I'm actually gonna have to get some very industrial type of equipment. Let's see what I come up with. And so the knife it is. She is literally going under the knife. Okay, so right here is the safe point, and here we go. Oh man, oh, what a thick stem. Oh my gosh, there it goes. There it goes, and yeah, it's clean, it's clean. So we made a good clean cut right here. And once the surgical procedure is done, we want to go ahead and use some cinnamon to dry out the cut or the wound area to help in assisting it to dry out. Now please be careful not to get it on any of the roots, as it can also dry out the roots as well, and we don't want to do that. And here we are, folks. We're just dabbing the cinnamon on the wound area right here. Again, making sure that we're not getting it on the roots. And as you can see, folks, this right here was the bad part, indeed. So we removed that area, and this right here, folks, is the good part, indeed. And we're left still with a pretty good stem system right here. Of course, all of this root, and even though we don't have any foliage, you guys already know that there is chlorophyll in these roots, and they have the capability of producing their own sugar. Indeed, they take the sun and they go through that photosynthesis process, and they produce its own energy. So indeed, it can survive through its roots. Now it's all a matter of crossing our fingers. So all of you guys, cross your fingers all around the world, and indeed we can save this orchid right here. And because this little darling has been infected, we want to get her away from all the rest of the other orchids to ensure that this will not be contagious to them as well. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to completely keep her isolated from the rest of the orchids. And we're also going to give her the same exact treatment as she once had. I'm keeping her in a brightly lit area. I'm going to water her at least once or twice a day. And I'm going to fertilize her at least once or twice a week. Same conditions. The only difference is I'm going to be closely monitoring her, understanding that it's going to take quite a while for her to recover from this process. A lot of times people think, oh, it's going to take 1 month, maybe 2 months, but I can tell you, I have orchids that have been in recovery mode for 6 months, almost a year. Yes, it can take quite a long time, so patience is key, and also to never ever ever give up, okay? And one of the great things about this orchid right here is the fact that they have a lot of keikis or plantlets that appear to be growing on the stem area. So indeed, this can be quite a specimen specimen of a plant in due time. So hopefully, fingers crossed that everything will work out well. And indeed, folks, please keep your fingers crossed with me. Send positive vibes and prayers for this beautiful, wonderful, little adorable gal. Okay, folks, so you guys pretty much got an up close and personal on one of my most extreme rescue cases. Now, I want to hear from you. I want to know if you guys think that this will be successful or if it will be a fail. Also, I want to hear from you in the aspect of, do you think that the keikis will survive and that this has a possible chance of indeed becoming a specimen of a plant? And that's not all, folks. I also want to know if you guys have experienced something similar to this, and if you have, what did you guys do, and was your rescue attempt successful? Indeed, I want to hear from you, so please post your comments below. And I thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and yes, watching yet another episode of my orchid adventures with me, Maria Young. And if you liked this video, please be sure to give it 2 thumbs up, and if you want to stay posted and updated to the latest and greatest news of my orchid adventures, please be sure to subscribe. Now, you guys also know I have a Facebook channel where I have many wonderful and also educational conversations right on there as well, so please join me on my Facebook at My Orchid Adventures. Again, I thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and you guys already know that indeed I love you all. Mwah!